My relationship with hijab is a little different, being a convert.
I'm a part-time hijabi. I wear it for prayers, I wear it for Ramadan, I wear it for special occasions such as going to the American Sharia movie or any other Muslim function, those kinds of things. The first time I put hijab on was actually for Hijab Awareness Day last year, a year ago, when you and I met, alhamdulillah. And before that, the only time I wore hijab was for prayers. And it's a long, full-length one that comes to my knees, and it's a gift from my doctor. It was my first hijab, and it's her hijab from her Hajj in Mecca the year before. So every one I've received has been a blessing and a gift. I don't think I've bought a single one, actually. I think they've all been gifts, alhamdulillah. So there's another relationship for me with hijab. The more I wear hijab, the more Allah brings it to me. And for me, the more reasons He has me to wear hijab. With my relationship with hijab, it's not just simply about this head scarf. Everyone mistakenly thinks that hijab is a head scarf. That's not what hijab is. Hijab is modesty. Hijab is haya.
It's important to support part-time hijabis because we all come from different walks of life. We all have different backgrounds. We all, not everyone was born Muslim. So we all, like for example, for me, I went to Islamic school my whole life. So I was wearing it 5 times a week for over 8 hours. So I just thought it's convenient for me because I'm used to it to just put it on all the time. But then other people like Catherine, she wasn't born Muslim. She found Islam later on in her life. So alhamdulillah. So her struggle with hijab might be different than mine, and vice versa. So I think the biggest thing is to be supportive of their baby steps and to understand that everyone has their own pace.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me as a convert, I think part of the struggles with hijab was at first not understanding the reasons behind it, right? I think it can be confusing and conflicting for a convert because there are so many people that pressure you to put it on immediately.
What I would suggest to people who are struggling with it is, aside to look at the religious obligation, is to find their own definition of what hijab means to them. So that can differ from person to person. My definition is, I see it as a code of conduct. For example, this is actually a true story. One time, me and my friends were walking down the road, and a lady came and she ran her truck and she splashed us. We were covered with dirty water.
How lovely.
And that was actually the first and I think the only time I've ever experienced anything like that. Maybe it was because of my hijab, maybe it wasn't, but there was also an old man walking right beside us, and he got splashed too. So I'm hoping it wasn't like an Islamophobia.
Yeah, to splash the hijabis.
Yeah. So, and we were walking towards a restaurant, and it just so happened that she was going there too. So I seen this and I was furious. So
who wouldn't be?
I ran towards her and I just told her, like I called her out on it, why did you do that and everything? But I wanted to like cuss her out and like go off on her, but then I remembered my hijab, and for some reason I can't explain it. Something was holding me back from stooping down to her level, and yeah. I just remembered, if I say anything outside of my boundaries, she's not going to point it at me. She's going to point it at 1.8 billion people.
Yeah.
She's not going to say, oh, I splashed that woman, so she's going to say, oh, those Muslims, and yeah.
No.
So that's my definition of hijab, is that it stands as like a barrier between you and the world, and remember that you are an ambassador of Islam.
Them to see the person, right? Not just this. And I think that's the part that people miss. And I mean, alhamdulillah, I've been blessed and fortunate that as a convert, I get to use it as a conversation, right? Because people see me with it and without it. So for me, it opens up a conversation to unintentionally do dawah. So I see that as a blessing, right? So for me, I guess it's more simple. We talk about hijab with women, There's not enough of a conversation about hijab with and for men. I think there needs to be more of that. Hijab awareness is always about this headscarf. It's always about women. It's always about our abayas and the way we dress and the way we present ourselves and conduct ourselves. What about men? Because like I said, when you guys got me to do the halakha so that I could learn what hijab was actually all about, and this is how they teach me, they knew how much research I would do, that's when I learned it was given to men first. So where is the topic of discussion for hijab for men? Why isn't that as prevalent as it is for women, just because this is visible, right?
So it's not just physically how you look at someone and automatically that's who they are. You put a label on them. There's more to it than just, what I choose to show you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'd like them to see us as more than just a label. Right? Whatever label that they come up with in their own mind.